Ryu Hirakawa has completed 4 rookie F1 sessions within the space of 5 race weekends with 3 different F1 teams. So what might that tell us about what's going on behind the scenes in the F1 teams? Well, firstly, context is key here. Hirakawa is a 31-year-old Japanese driver who has 2 WEC titles and has won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, all of which has been with Toyota, but he has F1 aspirations. So for the 2024 F1 season, he became a McLaren reserve driver and he completed FP1 in Abu Dhabi. However, as you may remember, late in 2024, Toyota joined the Haas F1 team. So given his link to Toyota, he also took part in the Abu Dhabi postseason test with the Haas F1 team. And then it was announced that he would be a test and reserve driver for the Alpine F1 team in the 2025 F1 season, which led to him completing FP1 in Suzuka for the team. But he made a very quick turnaround between last weekend and this weekend because he left Alpine with immediate effect and he has now taken part in FP1 for the Bahrain race weekend under the Haas F1 team. And that's because he is now the Haas F1 team's only official reserve driver. So I know what you're thinking, why didn't he pick Haas from the start? Well, according to the race, he was under the impression that there would be a better opportunity for him to get a seat with the Alpine F1 team, as the Haas F1 team had made it clear that they would not be offering a seat. Whereas it didn't seem like Doohan's seat was that solid by the end of 2024. But he has swapped, so has something changed? Well, with Alpine, perhaps when he signed, he didn't realise there would be 4 reserve drivers, and therefore a pretty slim chance of a seat. In fact, apparently the swap had been in motion for a while now. But if that's the case, why would Alpine give him the free practice session as opposed to the other drivers? Well, I can only think of 2 reasons. 1, it was in his contract, or 2, they were getting some financial benefit out of it. And either of those would make sense because in the press conference for Bahrain, Doohan's wording made it seem like it had to happen at that specific race weekend. But there still isn't a seat available at Haas, so why would he make that move? Well, he is also taking part in 3 more testing sessions this year, and seeming as he is the only official reserve driver, he is the one who'll be put in the seat if something goes wrong. And so the more opportunities he gets, the better his chances of getting a full-time seat. And based on Alpine's response, I get the idea that even they knew that there wasn't going to be much progression for him in the team, and Hirakawa pretty much outright confirmed that as well, but he couldn't go into a lot of detail. So why should we actually care? What does this say to us? I think it means that Haas feel like they aren't going to be changing their drivers for a while, and whilst Alpine is probably a little bit more likely to change their drivers, perhaps it isn't as likely anymore. Because surely if they were trying to judge Doohan's performance, they wouldn't make him do the FP1 swap. Unless of course they've already decided they're getting rid of him, and given what happened with this and what happened with Tsunoda and Honda, I think it really highlights the fact that having a good backing can make a major difference to your F1 career.